think we're live. Hello, everyone. There we are. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week so far. I didn't get to do last week's Facebook Live. I was pretty tired. I had a very full on day and I was absolutely wiped out. So I thought there's no point in me doing a Facebook Live where I'm just like blah. So yeah, and it's interesting when you have those times where you feel really exhausted and then you feel like, oh, but I've committed to this, or I really want to do that, or whatever it is. Sometimes we just need to stop and give us some self-care time. And I find that when you're able to rest and recharge, you're actually more productive and you're able to focus better in life as well. So, yeah. And it's interesting, like, all I needed was a 45-minute nap, a green smoothie, some time outside in nature, and a healthy dinner, and I was right as rain the next day. So, yeah. Cool. So today I wanted to share with you a technique I use to unpack what may be holding you back. So yeah, I find this technique really, really helpful because we all have stuff, right? We all have things that hold us back, and then those things you might be feeling a certain way, and then you might go, oh well, it's all too hard, and I'm just going to go and have McDonald's for dinner, or I'm just going to reach for that chocolate cake, So, or I'm not going to go to the gym today or exercise. So. Yeah, and I find a really great technique to unpack what's holding you back is journaling. So, if you're watching this live or watching the replay, please say hello. And yeah, I've actually, I love journaling. I've been journaling since I was 8 years old, and I have a collection of journals scattered throughout the house. They are in bookcases and boxes, and they're sitting on my bedside table, and I just find it's a great way to resolve issues, concerns, upsets, or blocks. And I wanted to share with you, and I've not shown this to anyone apart from my friends and family, but I wanted to share with you my first ever diary. So there is a bit of an embarrassing story behind this. And yeah, so when I was 8 years old, I had a thing, as young kids do, where I had to tell my mum everything. And as my mum put it, I touched the wall. I had to tell mum I touched the wall. I walked outside, I came back in. So I had this thing of I had to tell her everything, and she was getting driven nuts by me. So she goes, here's a journal. Write all your thoughts and feelings in there, and we'll review it at the end of the day. So I just had to share my first journal, which wasn't about touching walls and things like that. Sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? We all have stuff, and it's okay. This is my first ever. Sorry, the book's a bit broken, but this is my first ever diary entry. 1989, Saturday, 2nd of December, and I wrote. I'm actually quite impressed with my spelling at year 8. There's no spelling mistakes that I can see. Today we went to the back of the house and we went through the pipes. Then Daddy told us off. Then we ate our lollies. Then I put my jewellery on, and then I played snakes and ladders. The life of an 8-year-old child. So yeah, it's interesting. So ever since I got this first journal, and it's called the Country Fun Diary because I grew up in the country. And it still has that smell. It's so awesome. Like, I've had this since I was 8, so it's very, very precious. Yeah, and I just find, journals have so much meaning instead of, like writing it in a document and saving it somewhere, or having it on your notebook, and having nice pens. I'm a big fan of like nice pens that make you feel good. I've got at work, I have a sparkly pen that I use. It's my favorite pen. And I recommend journaling to so many of my clients because it helps them immediately with understanding their self-sabotaging behaviours, or just having an avenue to write it out rather than bottling it up inside. So how often do we feel these feelings and we feel like, oh, I'm not allowed to feel that way, or I shouldn't be feeling that way, I shouldn't even be thinking this, and we bottle it up and we shove it down. And then sometimes when it comes to emotional issues, we eat food, and that can cause emotional eating. So really it's super important to be dealing with those issues rather than just shoving them down and just ignoring them and pretending they're not there, because unfortunately they are, and they're affecting you in your everyday life. So and look, there is real power in journaling when you ask yourself certain questions and take the time to contemplate and write down the answer. So some questions I find really useful are things like, what do I really want? And I don't mean, what do you want? Like, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to be super skinny, and I just want to be able to eat whatever I want and never have to worry about it. Not that sort of thing. What do you want right now? What do you really, truly, in your heart, desire? Like, you really, really want? That sort of stuff. Because when you get an understanding of what you really want, you can really work with that. And you can also ask things like, what are the shoulds that come up about this? Like, you may want to, so as an example, last Wednesday when I was going to do that Facebook Live, I really wanted to just lay down and go to sleep, have a quick nap before dinner. I was exhausted. But I felt like I should. I already committed to doing a Facebook Live. I wanted to share that with you, but I more wanted to rest. And sometimes it's about honoring that and saying, you know what, I just need to do what's right for me. And as women, we put everyone else first and we always put ourselves last. And it's very hard for us to go, you know what, I need to do what's right for me, because we have this feeling that we feel selfish. We feel like we're doing the wrong thing by our friends, families, colleagues, when we put ourselves first. And unfortunately, it's sort of like bred into us in a sense, where women are the carers, women are the ones that have to give, but we need to be able to give to ourselves. Otherwise, if there is no us, there is no giving. So, yeah. Other questions you can ask is, why do I really want that? Really deep down, not just, I want it because so I can get this or that. The real deep reason as to why you want something. And another question you can ask is, why do I feel like I can't have it? What's standing in my way? Or how do I, you could even ask things like, how do I feel, what is the story I'm telling myself about my ability to eat healthy or lose weight? There's always these stories that we have, and these stories shape our entire life. So we say things like, I'm just not able to lose weight because that's just who I am. I'm big boned, or I've tried everything, it's not going to work, there's something wrong with me. So it's about identifying those things and then looking at it and going, is that true? Is it really true that, you can't change your eating habits or lose weight? No, because you can. It's been done so many times in the world. Of course you can, but it's us that feel like we can't, and we stop ourselves. And journaling is a great way to be able to help you get through that. You can even, when you're feeling a certain way, you could write, why am I feeling this way? Write it out, like, why do I feel this way? And go deep into it. And, how is it helping you right now? So this is an interesting question, because sometimes, we're not doing something that we think we should be doing, and we're like, why am I not doing this? And it could be because it's helping you. You might feel that if you exercise, it's going to cause you to feel exhausted, or it's going to cause you pain. Or, if you go on with changing your eating habits, you may feel that, gosh, if I change my eating habits, I'm going to be restricted, which is not true. Definitely not. But you might feel that way. You might feel that it's going to be restrictive. So your body, in protecting you, will have you sabotage it so that you don't have to do that. And then, so sometimes we have these self-defeating behaviors because we're actually protecting ourselves from things that really aren't the way they are. And it's looking at those things too. You could even be journaling about your beliefs, in terms of like, what do I believe about whatever it is? And then, is it true? Where did I learn that from? How is this helping me? What can I believe instead? what steps could I take to help me get through this? So there's all these little rabbit holes that you can go, well, holes, warrens, or whatever you call it, that you can go through. Yeah. So what's another one? Yeah. So try it today. All you need is a journal and a piece of paper. And you can get specific journals too. These are all my favorite ones. So specific ones in terms of, like, there's a gratitude journal. One of my good friends gave me this, and it's gorgeous. And you just write in there each day, like, what are you grateful for? And sometimes when we're feeling a bit yucky, like, I'm not sure about you guys, but I've been feeling a bit funny lately because I'm in Darwin and my family is in WA, and I'm born and raised in WA, and yet WA will not let me in. I'm not even allowed to be go and see my family. So I'm struggling with that, and as we are all struggling with different things at the moment. But I find when I look at what am I grateful for, and when I'm starting to feel like I'm going a bit down, I go, hang on, 5 things. What are 5 things that I love and I'm really grateful right now? And I zone in on those things, and it makes me feel better. So yeah, gratitude is really good for that. You don't have to have it in a diary, but sometimes if you want to write it, you can get gorgeous little diaries like this. I love setting goals. I love it. Dreaming and planning and all this stuff. I've always been that way. So I've got a dream diary journal, and it's got in there like the 1 year, I don't know if you can see that, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year and 10 year, and you just write your plans and things in there. It's really cool. I think this is from Kiki K. Another one of my favorite journal design places is Intrinsic. So Intrinsic have these beautiful diaries. They're just, I don't know if you can see, but the gold, I just love that, and I just love turquoise. So yeah, and this one, it's got create. And this is your time to create the dream to grow, to be the most wonderful you. Oh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? I also have like another diary that I just use it's just a, I don't know, material type diary, and I just use to write things out when I need, I find when I need to work things out, or I get stuck and I don't really want to talk to anyone about it because I just want to work it out myself. I write it in this diary. And then I've got this diary of when I'm learning things. So ideas that I come up with, especially for this business. I'm always like, oh, what can I do? Like, oh, thinking of a challenge, or what new material can I write up? I'm always writing ideas and plans in this diary as well, in journal, I should say. So yeah, that's some of my little shareables there. It's been quite fun doing a show and tell today. I'm not sure if you can tell, but you can see I do like the colour pink. I'm very pink and turquoise is my favourite colour. Anyway, cool. All right, so give it a try today. Like, all you need is a journal and a piece of paper, and you can start off with some of the questions that I told you about. And I find handwriting in a journal is a lot better. Just because there's so much energy that, like, I'm a big believer in energy. So the energy that resonates out of your body through the pen into the paper, and yeah, it's just like this sort of ritual thing. It's great to do. Cool. So yeah, give it a try. And look, if you love journaling, please leave a comment below. If you're watching the replay or if you're watching live, I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. So I'm going to clock off now, but I will be watching the comments as well. Cool. All right. Well, look, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next week. Bye.